An epic mile-high roller coaster ride is over in Denver, and the Nuggets have survived it to take a 3-2 lead. Nikola Jokic with 38, 11, and 9, but they could never wrangle Dame Lillard, who recorded the first ever 55-point, 10-assist postseason game and sent the game not only to overtime, but to double overtime as well before the Nuggets finally got through it. Post-game coverage here on NBA TV Now. Wow. That's Steve Smith, LaMarcus Aldridge, 7-time NBA All-Star. I'm Matt Weiner. I don't even know where to start with this, but you guys played the game. Tell me what you just saw.
Great game. Dame put on a show. He showed us what he's about. Like we said early, the Joker needed help, and he got that tonight. A bunch of guys played big, played great for them down the stretch. I would have done some things differently down the stretch on Dame, maybe trapped him, made him, I go to the basket. I don't know, but, he was shooting the ball too well for me to let him play one-on-one.
Yeah, there were a lot of opinions on that on Twitter and in the studio as those shots played out, which we'll get into momentarily. What's your takeaway from this?
First of all, how good was that from both teams?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, for us, the excitement we had here with the crew and all of us watching, Joker needed some help. And, yes, Michael Porter stepped up, Aaron Gordon, but Monte Morris. Down the stretch, LaMarcus and Matty, not only did he hit tough shots, stepped up to the free throw line, went 10 for 11 throughout the entire game, but knocked down some crucial threes. And then the man of the hour, he didn't win, but wow, Dame Lillard. I mean, amazing the shots he's making during the playoffs. I mean, we know he's one of those guys that shoot deep threes, but the entire gym, the entire studio here, the entire world knows he's shooting a three. There's some things that I did different. He'd have came down court, I had him with one arm. He wouldn't have been able to shot a three, and that's the one thing, I think a lot of these teams have got to understand. Time and score, you got to understand you're up 3 with less than 4 or 5 seconds. The probability of Dame Lillard making shots like that now, extremely high. So I got to make sure I foul him and let him get to the free throw line. And he can't make 3 at the free throw line if it's 2 shots.
Right. It's not like he doesn't have a track record at this point in his career, right?
Right.
Why would you allow him to take a 3 to tie the game before the end of regulation or overtime? People are debating this now around the basketball world. Let's take you through what happened in the final few amazing minutes of that game. First, with under 10 seconds to go, it's,
Get up!
Maybe by the time you get to Porter standing in front of him 6 feet away, he's toast, but maybe you send a second defender. I don't know. Anyway, he hits the 3, and it's tied at 121, and the game is headed to overtime. Porter's just done right there. He's got no chance of affecting that shot once Dame's got him in his sights. We've seen it too many times.
I mean, you got to step up. There's no step backwards. And I think the one thing is if he's going to make a 3, if you choose not to foul, he's going to have to make a 3 while I'm basically on the side of LaMarcus, or even behind him, where he's going to shoot a 3, fading, pushing it.
So then we get into overtime, and it's Jokic with one of his 9 assists on the night.
He was big all night.
Another big shot from Morris.
Played confident the whole game.
And then into Jokic. This time from the high post. Great cross pass to find Austin Rivers, who knocks down a big 3. So Denver up by 8, right? Seemingly in hand with a minute to go. Not yet. Dame gets it back.
Ooh,
that's a hard guard from 30 whatever feet away. And then Lillard, one more time, another step back. Set a postseason NBA record with 12 made threes on the night. 12 of 17 from the field. Morris, you mentioned the free throws in the overtime. Made one. That's the one he missed. And unfortunately for Denver, it leaves the door ajar. Again, no foul here. Inexplicably to me. You got to do something else.
I mean, there's enough plays, enough dribbles to be able to foul him and not get a shot up. Especially when Matty turns your back to you.
Yeah.
Well, I might have got a flagrant. I'm tackling.
You trap, you foul, you do something. But they didn't. He hit the shot, and then he keeps at it. Into double overtime now. Lillard to the rim, and then it's Jokic knocking down a 3. He had 38. 14 of 31 from the field.
Back and forth.
1 point game now. Every time you thought Portland was done, this happened.
Glass.
And if you're Michael Malone, you're pulling your hair out now as he banks home the three. That was the 12th of the night. Jokic double teamed this time.
Great pass.
Great pass to the corner. And MPJ buries that three-pointer. 143-140. Is it going to happen again? No. This time he tried to get it to C.J. McCollum. And again, another mental error. Portland had a couple of them down the stretch. He steps out of bounds, unforced turnover, and a big one.
Yes, it was. I mean, he stepped way out of bounds on that play. I know CJ would love to have this back. Unfortunate for them. You got to know where you are on the floor. He had struggled down the stretch a little bit, and Dame Lillard, give him credit, LaMarcus. He gave that up. I don't know if I would have given that one up, the way he was going.
Denver had two shots at the inbound. First one was deflected out of bounds and reviewed. They got it back. They foul Monte Morris running away from the ball, and Morris calmly steps up and knocks down both free throws. He had 28 on the night.
He's huge.
On just 18 shot attempts, 5 assists to go with it, and Denver hangs on to win it 147-140. Dame with the first ever 55-point, 10 assist game, set an NBA record with 12 made threes in a postseason game, and just ripped the hearts out of Nuggets fans repeatedly, only to have their team survive. Let's a lot of questions on Twitter and around the world for Michael Malone. Let's hear what he has to say about the way that game played out.
What did this one in particular, what did this win reveal about your guys' character?
I mean, what we already know. That was a great game. We won and lost that game so many times before ultimately winning it in the end. Looked like we were going to win the game in regulation. Dame hits a big shot. Looks like we have a chance to close it out. Ended the first overtime. They forced a second. The thing I'm most proud about, though, Mike, is every time they extended the game, we never hung our heads. We never got down on ourselves. I thought the guys that were in the game were phenomenal.